Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 24th episode of Don't Forget the Popcorn. Today, I will be reviewing the action classic Hard Boiled. I gotta admit, I'm late to the party with this one. I watched it recently and I had to review it. One thing I've talked about on this channel before is the importance of world cinema and how we need to be watching films from other countries. Some of my favorite films are from around the world, and if you're limiting yourself to only American or English language films, you're doing yourself a disservice. When it comes to action movies, I personally like pure fun. Guns blazing, hard fistfights, cool stunts, crime and punishment, and high stakes. With action movies, they're an escape where you can enjoy a movie without too much thought and just cheer and have a good time. Every now and then, though, you'll see an action movie that not only dazzles you visually, but one that has a decent story as well. Hard Boiled, Hong Kong, 1922, directed by John Woo, starring Chow Yun Fat and Tony Leung. I know many of you who stumbled on this video will have seen this movie, but I know a lot of people have not seen this, so I will keep this one spoiler free. I'll get into some scenes, but I will not give anything away from the story. Hard Boiled is easily one of the craziest and most fun movies I've ever seen. This one isn't going to make you think about life or leave you interpreting the ending, but you will be chatting with whoever you watched it with about the crazy action sequences you just witnessed. This film opens up with a scene with our protagonist, Tequila Young, in a tea house that starts out with a scene you would get typically in the third act of a film. A well choreographed and violent shootout that concludes with Chow Yun Fat looking like a powdered jelly donut. From this scene, you realize that you are in for a treat, and this movie is action packed and fast paced from start to finish. The story follows Tequila, a ruthless and cutthroat cop who will do anything to crack the case, played by Chow Yun Fat. He ends up teaming up with a young cop who is very deep undercover, played by Tony Leung, as they try and bring down the vicious crime lord Johnny Wong, played by Anthony Wong. First thing that needs to be brought up here is John Woo's amazing direction. In this movie, John Woo somehow blends brutal yet brilliantly planned and choreographed action sequences like you've never seen before, with a compelling story that actually has you very invested in the characters and what their motivations are. He paces this movie along perfectly, giving you the perfect combination of action and drama with a dash of romance and comedy to keep everything fresh and fun. The movie is tightly edited and it keeps you moving at a nice rapid pace. John Woo gets the best out of his actors with these legends on screen doing what they've been doing great for years. Chow gives us one of those classic early young fat performances with great stunt work, a badass personality, and as a fearless leader. He's been killing it before this movie and continued a decent American career after this. Tony Leung gives us a tough yet vulnerable and scared performance as he lives a crazy double life as an undercover cop and a high level triad member. Tony is in some great movies and he always gives it his all. He's a little bit of a different cop here, though, than he plays in the Chungking Express. The two leads have great chemistry together. Unfortunately, this was the last movie John Woo directed in Hong Kong before coming to America, and his last collaboration with Young Fat. This movie was clearly influenced by Die Hard, and once you see the hospital scene in the third act, you'll see why. But this movie has its own style and flavor and can definitely hold its own against Die Hard. This movie has some of the most insane action sequences that I really don't think anyone's gotten close to recreating, with maybe the exception of Nobody. The warehouse scene is one of the best with some crazy killers and some jaw dropping explosions. Even with so much going on in some of the scenes, it still flows so well, and the shots are perfectly placed, catching everything you need in the frame. This movie, clocking in at over 2 hours, moves quite quickly with zero dull moments and so much action that one can't be bored, can't look away from the screen. The tension building and character development going on when we aren't seeing triads getting destroyed is compelling enough to grasp us deeper into the story, making an impact on us when certain people die and change their ways throughout the film. Truthfully, I do not have many criticisms of this movie. It is clearly influenced by others of the time, but is an absolute gem on its own, offering a unique take on the genre with some of the most original action sequences that still hold up very well to this day, and a simple but grabbing story that has enough substance to push the film over the top, but doesn't try to be more than it knows it is. Hard Boil is one of the best action movies ever made, and with that, I highly recommend you check out this action classic. Overall, I'm going to give Hard Boiled a 9.2 out of 10. Guys, thank you very much for checking out this review. If you've seen Hard Boiled, let me know what you think down in the comments below. If there's a movie or a topic you want me to go over, let me know in the comments as well. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'll be back next week. And don't forget the popcorn.